Oui, bon. Our next guest refers to himself as a memory smuggler. Born in France, Serge Jardin is married to a Malaccan, a geographer and historian by training. He has been in love with Malaysia for more than 30 years, where he worked as a tour leader, tourist guide, travel agent, and finally as a hotelier. His first book was Revers Malacca, from the writings of travelers. With Sylvie Radeler, he wrote Malaisie, Un certain regard, or Looking at Another Angle. And with the photographer Tam Zi Ho, he wrote Malacca Style, about art, craft, and design. He's also published Langkawi Style, with photography by H. Tan and text by J. Bouchot. The French contribution to Malaysia and Malaccan history are his main interests. His latest effort includes Diary of a French Missionary, Penang during the Japanese occupation, A Fortuitous Encounter. And now he's working on the translation of the account of a VOC, mercenary, in Malacca. Serge is an accidental author, lecturer, publisher, and translator. He lives in Old Malacca. Alors, sans plus attendre, joignez-vous à moi pour accueillir Serge. So without further delay, let's welcome Serge.
Bonjour. What is it about? It is the translation of the diary kept by Father Marcel Rouen, superior of the Collège Général during the Japanese occupation. The Collège Général has trained the Asian Catholic priests for 3 centuries. It was founded by the Society of French Missionary of Paris. It was the oldest French institution in Malaya, and possibly Malaya's greatest contribution to Asia's network of knowledge. For more than 2 centuries, it was based in Penang, in Pulau Tikus, with a country house named Mayofil in Tanjung Bunga, where there is still a Catholic seminary today. I choose at the beginning of the diary, in the year 1941, the month of December, which begins quite routinely but ends in chaos. On the first, no entry. Second, ordination of 4 deacons. Third, ordination of 5 priests, 2 from Malacca, 3 from Bangkok. Fourth, departure of Lambert from Malacca, a layman, first year of philosophy. Fifth, abrupt departure of the community to Mayofil because of the imminent danger of hostilities with Japan. A state of emergency was declared a few days ago with general mobilization. Departure of 4 students from Bangkok and 1 student from Laos. In fact, these students took the last train from Penang to Siam. 6. The war with Japan appearing imminent, everything has been prepared in Mayofil for this eventuality. 7. Around 10 p.m., the battery of the island have discharged a few rounds of gunfire. There were no blackout that night in Penang. 8. At the beginning of the community mass, we hear the Japanese air raid on Sugai Petani, where we see a thick smoke rising. We say, this time it is for real. A few small attacks follow one another, on Butterwolf and on the Bayan Lepas airfield. From this day onwards, blackout every night. 9 and 10. Repeated alert. Fighting between Japs and English fighters over Butterwolf. In town, nobody cares about danger. The people gather on Esplanade to see the dogfight between planes. The life in Mayofil continues as usual, the races to the shelter, during the alert, the walk and the blackout. We get up at the usual time, with soup at 6, followed by rosary and evening prayer at 7, then bed at 9. A watch is organized. The students share the night between 3 groups of 3. 11. Black Day for Malaya. English naval disaster on the East Coast. Prince of Wales and Ripples sunk. A little after 9 a.m., the city of Penang is seriously bombarded by air. Bombs fall on Love Lane and on Saint Xavier Institution Padang near the Coven, among other places. The Jap machine gun the street. The Mercantile Bank is hit by a bomb. The stained glass window of the Assumption Church are shattered. The priest house is terribly rattled and becomes dangerous to inhabit. Other alerts at the beginning of the afternoon. The Chorasta market has been hit, as well as the houses on Stilt in the port, and we are talking about 200 killed. In the evening, from Mayofield, we see big fire in the city. 600 European women and children evacuated from Penang. 12. No more bread. Bakery employees having fled. Between 9 a.m. and 12 noon, successive raids. No bombs at Pulau Tikus. The defense, with anti-aircraft battery, almost absent at the beginning, start to be organized and start to fire back. 13. Several raids during the day. Less damage this time. A Christian died on the estate. No way to transport him to the cemetery. He's buried near the Malay cemetery. 14. Everything is quiet until lunch at noon. At this moment, a big Japanese formation appears, greeted with cannon shot. The formation turned to another direction. In town, we are just starting to get organized, but until now, there is the looting, which is allow for food. In Tanjung Tokong, the police have disappeared, and the inhabitants stop the vehicle coming from town and take all the goods they can find. 15. The shooting gets closer in Kedah. The brothers who were up in the hill are ordered to come down because we fear an attack by paratroopers and we don't want them to get stranded. In the morning, several alerts. In the evening, the island's gun shoot at the Japanese who are already closing in. 16. The Japanese are said to be in the south of Kedah. It is the beginning of a quiet day. No air raid alert. In the evening, it is said that Penang was declared an open city by the English, likewise Hong Kong. Everywhere we hear explosion from the destruction which the English are carrying out before leaving. No more electric power. The Penang Gazette publisher, Mr. Saranawa Mutu, take charge, waiting for the arrival of the Japanese. Catholic Eurasian jockey Ivan Allan and 2 Japanese civilians, formerly interned but since released, leave by boat for Sungai Petani to contact the Japanese command. 17. In the morning, many people return to town, believing the danger to be over. The students try to go fishing. Around 11 a.m., a strong Japanese air force bombarded Chulia Street area. Many are killed, including the boy and the gardener of Father Sway in the latter's car, which is burned. Again, the exodus of those who had returned to town. It is said that the Japanese bombed again because the British flag had not been replaced by a white flag. 18. The looting in town continued today. Good fishing by the student in the evening. The supply of food is not bad. Japanese troops are expected to arrive in town from one moment to the next. But around 10 a.m., a Japanese air raid is conducted on the city. During the midday rest, the planes come around again. Guards were formed by the government committee to stop the looting. 19. Passes are required to transport possession from the town to the countryside. In Bagan Jamal, belonging to those who don't have a pass are searched. Robbery continues all around Mayofield, the Penang Swimming Club, Dr. McKern House, the new Springtide Hotel, all are looted. In evening, it is said that the Japanese arrive in town, 300 to 500 soldiers. 20th, quiet morning, the students go fishing. A printed sheet of the Penang Service Committee describes the fall of Hong Kong and gives us some news of the world. The battle zone in Malaya should be now on the Krian River. 21st, order to Europeans not to leave their home. The Japanese authority will see them at home. 22nd, the students go fishing. We walk in a vegetable garden under the direction of Father Denarier. 23rd, we buy chicken and we start a hen house. Good fishing in the morning. Supply is sufficient. The interdiction made to Europeans not to leave their home is renewed. The college car is requisitioned, and guns and daggers must be delivered before the 25th, subject to death penalty. 24. Christmas Eve. We do some preparation for Christmas. We continue the walk in the garden and for the hen house. In the evening at 5 p.m. procession of the crib. A bit like what we used to do after supper on Christmas Eve. Nothing at night. 25th, Christmas Day. About 30 Christians come to the Mass at 8 a.m. Morning is quiet. We know nothing about what is happening on the peninsula or in the rest of the world. Life is only slowly returning to town where dirt and strange prevail. We bought 5 goats and turkeys for $120 and start rearing goats. Supply is enough. We learned that English prisoners are cleaning the town and repairing telephone communication. It is said that about 1,500 people were killed in Penang during the bombing. We can find bread again